We're live? Okay. Hey all. Welcome to third edition of Learnathon and Reactor. And before we start the session, it's going to be a long session because it's almost like a 2.5 hours we're going to spend here. People are here physical. We are also online. Let's go through the code of conduct first. Cool. So this particular event is governed by the code of conduct, and uh, be very careful when you're speaking to someone. Make sure that you are not hurting someone. And I'll give you some time to read through the code of conduct. It's not here, but anyways, it's displayed for you all here. Please go through it as well. And I would like to bring in Reshmi, who is products of Azure Static Web App. Today's session is about uh, Azure Static Web Apps, and we are not going to do session. It's basically not a workshop. It's not a hands-on session from my end. It's basically you are driving it. You are building something here, and you're deploying it on your own. We are just here to help you. But yeah, I just want Reshmi to spend some time on Azure Static Web App.
Okay. I kind of lost Vivek, but I am able to see the reactor office. Vivek, are you back? Yes, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Awesome.
Stage
That
is
was a good
yours.
start. That was actually a good start. Start should be ideal. Like make the first glitch in the first few minutes and then you're just gonna ace the rest of the show. So yeah, that's good. So hi all. For the ones who have already seen me before, I just have another hi. But for the ones who are seeing me for the first time, I was here, I think, a few months back when I got this hoodie free after giving my first community speech. So, yeah, I'm Reshmi. I am a PM with the Static Web Apps team, and I've been working here with Microsoft for over a year now. So what we do predominantly is try to make the developer experience as easy and seamless as possible. So I know for a fact that a lot of you who are currently here are very enthusiastic about making sure that when you code or when you like create a website, you're actually happy with how less effort you're putting in and how much of a magnitude you're able to create a difference of, right? So the idea and the whole essence of static web apps is basically to make sure that your experience of creating a website has been made so easy and so seamless that all you do is do like some 5 clicks or just like set up 5 configurations and your website is up in under 5 minutes. That's like the target that we try to set, right? And the best part about static web apps, especially for the ones who are beginners, is you do not have to do a lot of learning or reading, or you do not need a lot of gyan, right? I am not a pro developer. I enjoy the title of not being a very core techie, but I myself was able to create and upload a static site in less than 5 minutes. So I'm sure that all of you who are going to try it out for the first time are going to really enjoy the experience. And for the ones who have already tried it before, I would urge you to go one step further. Try doing a little more complicated stuff, maybe like adding a backend, adding an API, trying to do like calls and transactions, because hey, guess what? Static Web Apps provides you all sorts of supports and for free of cost. I mean, nothing's going to stop you, right? There's a lot of links, relevant links, which I would like to share with the team, but I'm sure that Vivek has already put together a lot of content. But before I pass it on back to Vivek, just a quick show of hands from the ones who are there in the hall. How many of you have tried Static Web Apps before or heard of Static Web Apps before? I cannot see the count, so Vivek, you'll have to help me here. Oh, you're on mute.
Seven of them.
Okay, and what does the total count look like?
Total count of the audience, number of audience
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
around 30, 35.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we actually have only like 20% of the crowd right now who have tried static web apps. So I am very excited because I want the rest of the 80% to get mind blown with today's content that they have. And especially the 2.5 hour target that Vivek has said that you can leave only once you complete. Guys, I don't think you'll need 2.5 hours. I think you're gonna probably leave in like half an hour or 1 hour. So I'm more than happy to stay back and answer your questions, but I'm passing it back to Vivek because he has put together a lot of good content and so excited. Thank you so much for participating today.
Thank you, Reshmi, for joining in and sharing your thoughts on the Azure Static Web App. So let me, my screen is shared, right? Noted. Let me share my screen. Okay. So people who are here, uh, who came in new, there's Wi-Fi code, which I'll share you later as well. You can also talk to Parth. He'll share you the code. And people who have joined online, hopefully you have an account, Azure account. We have shared the prerequisites. If not, you can take these links and get you can also get started with that. Okay, just to introduce me, I'm Vivek Sridhar. You know me, I'm senior cloud advocate at Microsoft, and done a bunch of things. We can obviously discuss after this session as well. We have one conference. We can do that. Um, you can connect with me on these digital coordinates. Okay, and if you have any questions, not just about this event, probably on Reactor, or you want to deliver talk at Reactor, or you want Reactor space for running your communities, do reach out to me. And today we have mentors who is here, Vivek. He'll also be online. He will, if you have any questions, just keep posting in the chat on the YouTube channel. And people are here as well. You can just go there and post your questions there, and Vivek will answer these questions. We also have Nish. He's going to show you how we have built our samosachai.net show website using static web app, and that is something which is interesting to discuss today. And and anyways, he's here, so you can obviously have a chat with him. And we all already know Rashmi is there. She's at the back end, and she's definitely going to help you to get started. So what is Learn at Reactor? What is Learnathon? You know, this is interesting, right? Because it's not a hackathon, and it's neither a workshop or a hands-on session from my end, right? I'm not doing any workshop for you where I'm telling this is what you have to do, and you keep the you run these things, right? But what it is basically you are dedicating a time for learning something new. And when I say reinforce tech, is basically if you know already how to do this, probably you do it again and do it with more complex things, right? So basically, if you already have done static web apps and you have already deployed it before, today you can try how you can apply Azure functions to it. That is something what Learnathon is all about. What is Learn at Reactor is all about, right? This is basically as I was talking to most of you, right? Is community. When I talk to them, they always say I don't have time to learn something. So I thought, okay, why not have this time? There's a Friday evening. There's 2 3 hours. We all get together, learn with community, right? It is pretty fast, and everyone is a winner today. It's very different from hackathon. Hackathon is only few people win. Some people will code, but here everybody is a winner as long as you are committed to learn, right? As long as you are committed to learn, you are a winner. Otherwise, I can only show you something, but it's up to you to learn, right? So that's what Learn It Reactor is all about. And learning with community is always fun. We have already seen that, and this is for people who are here in person. People who are online, I can't do this, but who are here, I will not let you go as long as you complete an app. Right? Okay, you know that there was a security outside this door, right? Yep. Cool. Okay, so what we are going to do today, I'm going to share you a link which is which is a cloud skill challenge. In that cloud skill challenge there are two modules, and we will complete one of the modules. It is very small modules, it is 30 minutes modules. Okay, you can just go through those modules and complete that module, and after that you can build your own app, or you can use the same app which is there in the module to deploy it to Azure Static Web Apps. Okay, if you are very much passionate, you come up with your own small app and go and deploy it on Azure Static Web App. We are here to help you. We all are here. Vivek is here, and Nish is here. I am here. Reshmi is there, right? Everybody is there. So we want you to build something. And people who are online, this is for you too, right? You are in best possible place, right? You can spend even more time, like 4 to 5 hours today, and build it and deploy it, right? So let's do this. This is what we are going to cover today. If we have time, then we will go for APIs as well. Okay, but that is if we have time. This is a link to Cloud Skill Challenge. So if you have not taken this link before, just take it out. Um, People who are online, I think we have already posted this Cloud Skill Challenge. It has two modules. You can take a look at that. And once you share the prototype, once you build a prototype, please share this prototype online, tag us. There's a reason why I'm asking, because I want you to go back and if you have a great idea today, if you're getting a great idea today for sitting for 3 to 4 hours, go and apply for our startup program, Founders Hub. So I'll show you what it is. Before all of these things, I like to call Nish. He'll show you how we build uh, samosachai.net website, right?
Sure.
Okay, Nish is here.
That's what you
Before
want me to
Nish
do.
starts, I'm a little bummed that my face is not there anymore over there.
Oh yeah, we worked hard at this one to remove this website. All right. Hi. Why so low on energy? No energies? Okay, cool. Fantastic. So, all right. So, I wasn't aware that I was doing a session today because anybody who has worked with Vivek in the past would know that where he can actually pull you in and you wouldn't even know that. So he had actually put my pictures everywhere. Yeah. I only knew when the tweet came in about a week ago. But anyway, so what we're trying to do here is to, static web apps. It's just easy way to build websites. And one of the things that we did is Vivek and I, we run a show called samosachai.net. And as always, with every new idea, what do you do? For the first thing that you do, what do? You buy a domain name, right? And then it's parked in there and nobody was using it. And we were just redirecting to the Reactor site. So we thought, okay, let's use this opportunity to do a website from Static Web Apps using Static Web Apps. And so we went on doing this. I mean, this is using a Blazor WebAssembly. Do you know that? Do you know anything about Blazor? So for those of you who do not know, it's basically writing your SPA application, single page applications using C#, not JavaScript. So it's technically running C#. And there are two versions to it. There's something called as Blazor Server, and there's a Blazor WebAssembly. You guys may know WebAssembly, right? So Blazor Server is all about having the C# code run at the server. It's a very interesting technology where it uses the RTC framework to kind of like update, real-time update and things like that. WebAssembly, as you know, is going to run inside the browser instead of just like JavaScript, but it's using the assembly thing, right? We use the assembler there. Okay, so so what I did to get started with this, obviously it's very, when you're new to this, how do you get started? So the first thing that I did is I looked at obviously the Blazor starter website. They had this. Just one second. Let me make sure I'm the right page. Yeah. So this is the static web apps team. They put together a really amazing template, which is called Blazor Starter. So you can technically start working from here. So what I did is if you go to this site and then use something called a generator. So I'm using Vivek's machine here. So let me see if I can make the Zoom work. Is it? Yeah, I'm doing that thing. I've been not worked on Mac in a long time. Let's see.
No.
Is it enabled? Yeah, it's not enabled. Yeah. See. Okay. So you see that, right? So you see the Blazor starter. So right here, if I just use a generate, and now you can actually take that template and put it in your own repository, right? So this is what I did, and that's what you see it here, right? Right here, by default, it gives you these templates. Like it starts with a client. It's a very known nomenclature. Like, you have a client app, which is what is going to be the website the people are going to see. And then there's an API, which is the backend that you're going to write, right? So I'm going to use a dot here. So we can open the VS Code editor. So anybody wants to try Blazor WebAssembly today? Who's trying? Okay, cool. Fantastic. So I'm happy to help you there, right? So, so you have the client, and the beautiful thing about writing apps in general in C# is that like there is a lot of bunch of applications which are already written. There are a lot of packages that's out there, really amazing stuff. So you can technically make that entire C# work in the web browser too, and that's the biggest advantage using a language like C#, right? Because it's been there for the backend for a very long time, and you can use the same technologies out here. Okay, so everything that you see here, you see this app.razor. So in Blazor, you write everything that you want to render using C#. That's all written in razors. Okay, so you can see that. Yeah, so I'm just trying to do the option command shift plus, right? Really? Command shift plus? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so so here's the project. So if you look at the pages, so this is where there's index.razor page. So if you see that this is nothing but it has been segregated into different components, like there's upcoming events. So if you go to upcoming events, so that's in the shared page. And the reason why we take this approach like shared is because in future, if you want to take this to multiple pages, you can actually reuse these components, right? And also with Blazor WebAssembly and the Blazor hybrid, you can also take it to the mobile platforms as well. You can make a mobile app out of it. So if you want to know more about that, we have a session coming on 27th about Blazor and taking it to Maui. So we'll talk about that then. But here, if you look at the session here, let's say upcoming events, if you go here, so there it is. So it's a very familiar HTML. That's all it has. And wherever, if you want to write C#, you can write code and then write C# code there. Okay. Here, as always, like when you start building websites, you technically are in a hurry to build the site. So I have not done a lot of work around getting the backend and other things working. So if you are interested today, if you want to hack through this Samosa Chai website, I'm happy to give you access to the website repository, and then you can pretty much do that. So right now, if you look at, so the thing that Reshmi and I, we were chatting about it, and we were joking about it, was like, previously she had her image here with her event, which was done previously, and I had to change this. So the way I went ahead and changed it is obviously gone and edited the HTML file, right? Because it was just put together, and we need to ship it fast, and we have that. So, but the way I needed to do this technically is to have the API over here have the data coming from probably a meetup, right? We already have these things hosted on a meetup. So if we can just query the meetup using using their APIs and then filter it out by Samosa Chai events, and then if we can show that in the upcoming shows, that would be the right way to do it, so that automatically the page can get refreshed, right? Making it not static but more dynamic. Okay, so you have any questions so far? Okay, so I think that's about it. And the other thing that I did over here is, let's go to uh, the repository here. And if you look at it's really amazing how everything in the docs on the Azure Static Web Apps, it's just very cleanly written out there. So if you want to get started with this, let's say, the one thing that I did is from here, this is where I went to generate this site, and then went on to kind of like use the portal, and then go to this resource, pointed my GitHub repository, and then it just asked me to do the next thing, set you up for the GitHub Actions. You guys know GitHub Actions? Okay. So basically what it did is it configured a pipeline for me. And again, this is not done. I've just gone to the portal and clicked next. And it went ahead and looked at my repository and then did the rest of the things, right? So now if I just simply go and commit any changes to this thing into the main branch, it automatically goes and deploys into the site. So you have the pipeline set up, right? Now, a couple of things that was very, very exciting for me is if you look at, this is the domain, right? I was able to link to a custom domain, again, free. And it also configured HTTPS, right? Who wants to pay for a website when all these things comes free, right? It just take a starter package, modify the design, and go to production within no time. Cool? Okay. That's it, I think, right? You have any questions? Okay, cool. All right, good luck with that.
Hey Nish, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me show this one. So let's get started. Let's get started with the modules first. And then we will spend 1 hour of thinking about something new idea. Let's come up with a prototype. Let's build it. And then we'll deploy. And when we deploy, just share your ideas. When you deploy something, just share your prototypes. It's not necessary today only you have to do it, right? There is 1 week's time. Go ahead and do it. But complete the module today. Go back and come up with an idea and build it. She's like, yes, I don't have to do it. Okay. Yeah. So just share the prototype here so that we know that you've been learning something, and we get to know. And I'm going to share feedback form later. All right. So once you work on the product, let us know the feedback of the product. We are looking for the feedback of the product. Okay. So it's interesting, right? When developers work on something, they have different feedback. When we do the stuff, because we are building it, we know how to do it, so it's easy for us. But it is different approach for you, right? So please let us know the feedback. That I'm going to share the link later. Yeah, so this is, I'll come to this later. After an hour, we're going to discuss about how you can apply for the Founders Hub. If you have the prototype today, how you can apply it. Okay, and what you should be doing it. Okay, let's get started. I'll share the links in the chat for people who are online. I'm going to share links in the chat, and let's spend 30 minutes on the Learn module first. This is the Learn module link. Okay, I'll share the links. Any questions? Any questions, online audience? Any questions here?
Just say hello to everyone.
Hey, hello, hello.
Hello to everyone online.
Everybody online, huh? Hello to everyone who is online, offline too. Again. Okay. Um, So I'm going to share links in the chat. So Rashmi, we are going to spend next 30 minutes learning. First 30 minutes is for learning. Next 30 minutes is for deploying.
Awesome. So I just wanted to quickly check if anyone has any questions for me. I am gonna be there in the background meanwhile. So if you have questions anytime, feel free to shoot it out. I'll answer the question, but while I'm on screen right now, if anyone has any questions. Other than Vishwas, I won't take Vishwas's questions. Sorry. Cool. Looks like everyone's already all prepped to start.
There are a couple of questions which is coming.
Oh, is it coming in the chat? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pick that up. I'll answer them directly in the chat if that's the case, or should I just do it on the camera? I can pick Arivu's question, which is what is the difference between static web app and app services? And that's a good question. Thank you for asking. So, the idea of static web apps is originally from app services itself, right? So, we are also helping in hosting a website in a similar fashion. We are also providing all sorts of like additional features such as setting up custom domains, SSL certificates, having your own API, Azure functions in the background, etc. The key difference that we have is when you're having a website hosted in app services, it gets hosted only in one region, the region which you select. So every customer, suppose you host it in India, every customer who is hitting the website from India is definitely going to see a low latency. But with static web apps, we host it across the globe. So anyone who wants to access it, irrespective of whether they are in India or whether they are in the US, they get to access it in an equally low latency because we make sure that it's globally available across regions, right? That's the first difference. The second difference, of course, is we provide services free of cost. And most cases, like in most cases, the free of cost service, the tier is very sufficient for people to do their hobby projects, to do startup projects. Like we have a lot of uh, top S500 customers as well who are still using multiple free tiers as well as standard tiers, right? So that's kind of the reason why people switch to static web apps. It's low maintenance, low cost, global latency, global availability, low latency. So that kind of does the sales pitch. I hope that answered your question. I can keep spamming the rest of the chat. Do we have more questions?
No, not yet. Thanks, Rashmi, for answering that.
Awesome. Thank you all. I'm going to be backstage. So whenever I'm needed, just give me a call. I'll still be here.
Yeah. So the question here is, what is static web app and what is a dynamic web app? The difference between those two.
Static web app has fixed value, it doesn't keep changing, whereas dynamic keeps getting updated with
Yeah. So somebody here is answering, static web app is where it's static, and dynamic is like it keeps changing. You have any example? Like, what do you call a static web app?
a site level pages. You have three different website environments. There's a graph, like survey done, and there's a graph. It's fixed. Whereas in dynamic, it keeps on getting updated. Like how many people have clicked to view. It keeps on getting updated. Like
Okay. Anyone who is online who wants to answer what is difference between a static web app and a dynamic web app? I'm seeing the chat. Anyone answering? What is a static web app? Eh, all of you use Facebook? Is it dynamic or static? Why? Why do you call it dynamic?
because whatever comes on my profile reflects the same on the public profile. But if I keep it private, it will be private. That means that I'll not be giving access to another guys. Means it can be changed according to the user.
When I log in, I see what settings I have done. I see what is supposed to come to me. I only see those kind of feeds. But when you log in, the feed is only for you, right? Specific to your profile. So it is dynamically changing the content.
Authentication authorization.
Exactly. But in a static web app, the content, everything is, it's there. Nothing is getting up. It still gets updated. By the way, it's not like we don't update things. It is getting updated, but at this our end, right? And these assets which are there, which is getting updated, that is in samosachai.net website which we saw. It is all built on the only one side. There is no backend. There is no data coming from anywhere. We haven't connected APIs to it. As Nish was talking about, how we can connect APIs, meetup.com APIs to it, and get the content and share the content here, right? The same thing is not there here, right? So here what we have is all static. Even the data which we have put on the website, the image of James is also static, right? The screenshots which we have there is also static. Everything is there on the your GitHub, and it is not coming from somewhere, right? It's not from the database or APIs which we are running. Okay, so that is the meaning of static app and dynamic app. Now we have completed the learn module. People who are online, have you completed the learn module? One learn module, second learn module. Just you have let us know you have completed, so that we can move further. You can let us know in the chat. How many of you here completed the learn module? One. Nobody else?
There were 7.
No.
You
Completed?
any help? Do let us know.
Let us know if you need any help. I'll come there. We will come there. And people who are online, please ask questions. We have mentors who are online. They will be able to help you. Just make sure that you ask those questions in the chat, and we can definitely help you with that. Okay. There is an interesting question here. What is the question?
Like how back then when there was no Docker and Kubernetes or anything to scale or maintain, how do you used to deploy all these websites? And
So the question is, back in those days when I was old or when I was young, okay, okay, um, how we used to manage
all these
the
backend,
backend and
scaling.
front end, and where there is no Docker, there is no content, no Kubernetes, how we used to manage, and everything is static web app. Is that your question?
Like kind of like was it static?
Okay. No. See, Facebook is there from long back, and dynamic websites are there from quite a long back, right? We have seen it, and um, obviously there is difficulty in managing it because it was all monolithic application. It was built heavy, it was packaged heavy, so it definitely takes time to build and deploy. It was not agile as agile today it is, right? It's like today you just push a code onto your GitHub Actions now for your app which you are building. You just push a code now, it will directly go into the Azure Static Web App, right? But that is not the case when 10 years back or 12 years back, when there was no Docker, there's no all of these things, where there was no Agile. It was slow, and DevOps was emerging at that time, right? It's kind of like 2008, 2010.
That was
That's the era.
that was the DevOps name.
Yeah, even I mean, it's nobody has defined DevOps at the time. It's kind of all companies were figuring out. It was all part of the research which was going in, right? So that's the thing. So the important thing here is people who have joined online, just make sure you complete the second learn module, and then we will um, get back to the session where we will see the learn module once, and then you can go back and build a prototype and share the prototypes online. uh, and after that, people who have joined in person, um, we will discuss about ideas and prototypes and other things as well. uh, that's the thing. Okay, so let's okay, so let's get started with this. Let me share my screen. Put my screen there. Cool. Okay, so we can continue. No worries. People who have here, you can continue. We're just making sure that online audience also, uh, you know, getting the information. So, um, you know, after you build the prototype, definitely share it. Um, Obviously, share your feedback on the product. This is the link to share the feedback on the product. I'm going to share that link in the chat as well. uh, can you share this link in the chat? That link in the chat. Okay, we're going to share this link in the chat. Share the feedback of the product, and if you're building a prototype, please go to this link. If you have a great idea, which you have, which is can be a potential startup, just go there and apply for it, and apply with my email ID to get a referral. Okay, apply with my email ID to get a referral onto that, and yeah, that's it. You get $1,000 to building your ideas. So that's a good thing about it, right? So 1,000 Azure credit. So you'll go and back and build stuff. Let me go to the learn module now, because I just want to show you what it is, and I'll also build it. Okay, this is the learn module, cloud skill challenge which we had, and we all went into this learn module, right? So here is the second learn module which I'm going to go through. Okay, So we all know what is static web app. We've been discussing about it. I'll not go, in depth with it, but this is the diagram, right? This is the architecture. Very simple. You have a code. You have code on the GitHub, right? And then you're pushing that code to Azure Static Web App, and there's no backend to it, right? If you see here, there's only a service, which is a app, right? There is no backend attached to this, and there is only a way to connect to a backend via Azure Functions, right? Can you see this APIs, Azure Functions? Okay, so that's how you can build it, and we have discussed this, and it's very simple. There is support for having free SSL certificates. Nish has built it on the Samosa Chai. It is HTTPS and custom domain. Again, he has built it here. He did go through about it, and obviously when you run these on GitHub Actions, when you push code every time, you get a staging link. Okay, you can enable those things. You get a staging link. That means it's not necessarily it is on the production. There is a staging links which gets created when you push something, and when somebody verifies it. After verifying it, after you merge the code, then it goes to production, right? So that's the beauty, right? You are testing your uh, code changes, and also it is going to the production. Okay, that is what it means, having a preview. And this is the app which is there, and you can obviously get this app very easily. We can see that. Just go here, click on this. It will go to your GitHub repo. Okay, so in this repo, you just have to give a name. Say simple name, my first app, underscore a hyphen, which is better. Hyphen. Hyphen is better, no? Okay, my first app, something you give your name, description, private or public, make it whatever it is. Uh, you need to select owner and say create, and it gets created, right? So it's very simple. Got it? So we have app ready now, right? It's very simple. So you just build this, for testing purpose, the code is there. For your own, you should try and build on your own. Build a simple hello world HTML template with a couple of JavaScripting on top of that, and just deploy it like how Nish has deployed in Blazor. And he did show about the basic template which you can use, that is already there, right? So this is how you can build it. And let me open this in my code space. So we have done this, right? These steps are done. Now we have to just deploy it in local, right? So what it is saying is, run the front end client application in debug mode, right? Did anyone try this? You got this application on your local? Okay. Okay. It's taking some time to create.
Sir, dot dev, right?
Yeah.
Default.
Okay. So now I have this client. So I'll have to run this in debug mode. Uh, Okay, now I start this in debug mode. Okay, not this one. Let me run it. And oh, my extensions are not installed. Install and reload. Okay, so this is the step. Okay, so you need to execute that debug mode. It will run it on the local, and when it runs on the local, what happens? Your application is running in local, and when you go into the next step, where you know you're going to deploy to the static web app, it's very simple. All you need to do is it is already having a GitHub actions done on your repo. It is already there. So all you need to do is make changes to it. By the way, this module gives you sandbox. Got it? Just click on activate sandbox. You will get a sandbox for 4 hours where you can play around with this. Okay. So this can be done. And then there is static web app portal. Like you go and create static web app in Azure portal, and then just select your app in the GitHub. Okay, I'll show you how to do that while that is there. Let me go to my dashboard. Okay, now we go here and say static web app. Okay, I already have one. I'll create one more. Most important thing is to build this. So you can see here, let's select something. I already have SWA. Okay, we'll name it as web app demo. Hopefully it works. Okay, now this is free. Okay, while creating static web app, it is free. I have a GitHub repo now. I already have the application. I can run it locally. We just running debug, and it will run locally, right? But now what I'm trying to do now is pushing that code to Azure Static Web App, right? So instead of running it locally, I want to go to start into cloud. So now I have selected GitHub. Okay, I'm directly doing it from GitHub. I can either select Azure DevOps or others, but I'm directly doing it from GitHub. So my account is already there. So I'm selecting. It will list all my repos. What did I give? My first app. Then it is main. What is a build preset? Blazor app. These are all common things which is there in the Blazor app. And I have API location called as API. I have an app location called client in the code, and I have an output location in the www root. Where is it listed? Go to the learn module. It is all listed here. If you remember, here it's all listed. Okay, here the GitHub actions, and here the Blazor. Everything is preset. Everything is ready for you. This is already a preset app. That is why it is all listed. But if you are building it on your own, you have to select the right set of things. Okay. But this is all coming from your GitHub repo. Okay. So let me go back to my. So now all I have to do is review and create. That's it. I have an application. I have created a static web app. It is here. I'm creating it. That's all. My application will be running now. Will it run? Will it run? How many of you finished learn module? Will it run? It will, but not as an app, because it will tell me what it is telling. Thank you for using static web app. Your site is not up. Why? Why it is not up?
Its action is
It's still running. The code deployment is still running. That is the reason why my app is not up. Okay. You see that? So it's going to take 3 minutes to complete. Interestingly, 3 minutes to complete. Very interesting, right? Because usually building something, deploying something, a code which is going from GitHub to server, and we are going to run that. It should take more time, but it is easy. If you notice this, I didn't create a GitHub action file. How many of you know what is GitHub action? It is to deploy your code to server or do some actions on GitHub, right? Like you have a GitHub, and if you have a workflow, if you make changes, if you do any kind of changes into your applications, you want to deploy it, you write a code, you write an automation code, right? That is what GitHub action is. But if you see, I didn't create a GitHub action or a workflow for this. While I was creating the static web app, it created a workflow for me. So this is the workflow. If you go here, GitHub workflow, there is a workflow here, right? There is a workflow. If I click this, can you see the code? I didn't do this. It was written automatically. I didn't write this code. No, 10 years back I was DevOps. I was leading DevOps team. This was so difficult to write in bash scripting. Right? But now, it's easy, right? So this is simple. It is already there for me. I don't have to do anything. It is even adding my secrets. Everything has been added. Everything is fine. So I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is to wait for this to complete. All I have to do is to click some buttons, right? And point it to the right GitHub repo. And once I point it to the right GitHub repo, my code is up and running. Simple.
one question. You used to work on Solaris.
That will come later.
Today there is ASP.NET management here. So how do you see it?
Okay, so we'll wait for it to complete. While it wait, we are waiting for this thing to complete. Any questions in the online audience? I know there is a bunch of questions. I hope Vivek and Reshmi are answering those questions. Should complete by now. We're taking 4 minutes now. But what it will be showing? We'll see that. No, nothing. Why it is not completing? Or because I have quota overloaded. Let me delete this. Oh, I don't have to delete that. I might have it. Okay, this is my already run application. I'm showing you that this is already there. I opened my app, which I had built. This should come up. It will take some time. Oh yeah, it is completed. It took 5 minutes, but it's completed. So which is good. So we can also go and test that app as well, which we built, which is web app demo. Okay, done. So whoever is online, whoever is here, get to this. I did it in 10 minutes. You should do it in 15 minutes. Did you do it? You are here? Very good. Who is here? You are here? Very good. You are there? Very good. Who is here? You are there? Very good. Amazing. People who are in person. Almost everybody has done this. Very good. Who is there online? Online folks, let me know. I'm waiting for online folks to let me know that they are completed till here. They are here. They're able to deploy an app till here. Nice. Great. So now, what you should be doing? Go to this. Go to this link and give the feedback on the product. Please. You have used the product now. You deployed the app. How is your feeling? How did you feel about it? Done? Done? Any questions? We built our first app. Yeah.
So we can also build the static web apps using Vue.js, React.js.
Yeah. So we can build our static web app on React.js, Angular, Blazor, anything which is working with the servers framework, right? So you can definitely build that app. So now we have that API integration with functions. You can also call a couple of things and integrate it with the API so that you don't really need a server at the back end. It's a function which is running, which is serverless, and it is capturing the data, and probably or you are running some asynchronous activities through your static web app. That can be done.
And also the storage is also there default. We do any storage changes.
The moment you use Azure function, there is a queue you can use. It goes to anything else, storage, blob storage, or anything. We can build it with number of things, right? You can also have durable functions there. So bunch of things. So it depends on your use cases and depends on your how you want to use function with the static web app. So it's a powerful thing because you have a static web app where it is can be deployed to, globally, right? Because it is faster because it is deployed in your assets are deployed are synced in different places in the world. So if a person is using your application from different part of the world, he's able to use it much faster than if it is deployed in India, right? So that is the most important thing. And then there is an API support where you can also get information or run some certain jobs at the backend using this APIs, right? So these are the things you can think about. Right? That is the
And then you are using GitHub as your DevOps CI/CD pipeline. Shall we also use Azure
yes.
or any other
Yes.
pipeline?
Yes. So there is a support for Azure DevOps, GitHub Actions, basically GitHub. and there is an option called others. I have not used it, but there is an option called others while I was creating this thing. So that is the most important thing. Okay, have you completed the feedback? People who are online, have you completed the feedback? Just put it in the chat if you have completed. It will help us know that it has been completed. You were able to access the feedback form, right? How many of you completed giving feedback? Thank you. Okay, so again, I'm repeating this. If you have a prototype, this is for people who are online. Since people who are in person, we are going to continue to discuss on the prototypes. We are going to continue to discuss for next half an hour. More discussions are going to happen. But people who are online, this is the learn module. This is where you can find the learn module. Complete the learn module, go and see how you can use the functions as well. The learn module has functions integration as well. Just make sure that you spend some time and build and deploy something, and then share your prototypes here, just like how Vishwas has shared it. Vishwas here built it and he shared it. So he has shared the link. You can actually follow this learn it reactor and see how he has shared it. The same way you can also share it with us so that we will know that you have built something. Please give us feedback if you have not given feedback, and if you have a great prototype, go back and use this particular link, which is scale up, which will help you to apply for the $1,000 credit. If you have an idea and if you have built a prototype in Azure Static Web App and you have posted here, you can go back and apply for it. Okay, you can use this email address to get the referral. So please go ahead and use this email address to get the referral. This is my email address, so it's on public forum. So okay. Okay, these are digital coordinates to connect with me. If you have any questions, do reach out to me, or in the chat, please share it with the team. Vivek and Reshmi are there and they're answering the questions. I can see there is a bunch of discussions happening online, which is good. And any questions here before we move on to the next segment where we're going to talk about different prototypes you can build?
How do we scale this up? If you want to scale up production?
It is already scaled, right? It's on the pass side of our end.
Okay. It's on the developers to do it.
Yeah.
Do you need to provision any load or something different as a developer?
No, this is anyways assets, right? You're scaling only assets cache, which is already cached. So and even if the requests are coming, it is on our pass layer. So it is obviously it is internally scaled. Obviously SLAs are there. There is a hobby, there is a free trial which we have, right? So that is something we need to choose. And this is still probably there is going to be different pricing things which will come in, but yeah.
Right, I can preview.
I think it is G8. I will let Rashmi answer this. I'll let Rashmi answer this. It's G8. Yeah, it's G8. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Any questions? Any questions online? I'll share all the links now in the chat. Okay, I'm going to share a couple of links. One is so people who are here, if you have not completed the module yet, please complete the module. We will discuss about the prototypes and we'll discuss anything different as well. Like if you want to discuss about how you can build the startups through this static web apps, right? That is something which we can discuss. Okay. Any more questions? Cool. So thanks people who have joined online. I'll be closing the online session here. And thank you for joining in. And any questions you have, just keep posting in the chat. We will have Vivek here and Reshmi here who will be answering. But please make sure that you complete this and share it with us. Whatever things which you have shared, please make sure you complete and share it with us, and we will be able to get back to you as well. And if you have a great idea, just go ahead and submit that as part of the Founders Hub. Right? Thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. Thank you.